You ever put a lot of work into a project you genuinely believe in, only to find out you miss quite a few things that deserve mention? That your work was far from complete, even though you thought it was? Well, I've been there. As a certain jerk felt the need to inform me of all the things I had missed. Thanks for giving me more work. So, let's fix that, shall we? Weird Al theme park retrospective 2. The things I forgot because I'm an idiot.
Stupid!
Yeah, I know. Let's just get into it. Starting off with a correction. Turns out Al's brain was also showed at the 2010 Orange County Fair as well, not just 2009. A minor mistake, but still a notable one. Also, there actually was a reference to Skipper Dan included in the Jungle Cruise ever since the Tropical Hideaway Canteen was opened. Speaking of Skipper Dan though, Al did do an interview with Inside the Magic where he was talking about Skipper Dan, and how his creative process for the song came about, and his respect for the Disney parks. And while it's interesting and insightful, I do think my overall points with the song still stand. But getting into the stuff that was fully missing from the original video, we start off in 1984 with this fun advertisement for Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh, I can hardly wait to go on all those cool rides.
Yeah, Mr. Al. Saturday morning is just like being at a fun park.
No wonder I forgot this clip. I was basically blocking it out. I mean, the idea of Weird Al, one of my heroes, associating himself with Scrappy Doo. How dare you, Al? I believed in you! This was actually a promo for a Saturday morning programming block on ABC, where Al, Scooby, and Scrappy went around Knott's exploring while setting up episodes of upcoming Saturday morning cartoons. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't make for good riffing material. Take this, for instance.
Right. Whoa! This thing has thrust! This thing has power! This thing has speed! It just has no brake!
Oof. If he thinks that's an insane vehicle to drive, no one show him this ride. It might break him.
Alright, you see this harmless-looking cave over here? A cave that could very well be the home of a harmless fire-eating dragon?
No, the dragon moved to France, Al. You should be fine.
I only had a wife.
Arson! The cause and solution to all of life's problems.
Please don't actually commit arson.
Yeah, despite falling into a bit more obscurity, this little advertising session is a classic and more than deserving of proper recognition, which I sadly failed to do last time. My apologies. And here's our next stop, 1984, where Al did a segment for an old TV show called Circus of the Stars! The show was a relic of its time, where they found random celebrities to do death-defying circus acts on camera for all to see. And Al's moment on the show just so happened to be filmed inside Universal Studios Hollywood. Not the studio portion, but the park section itself, in front of the Moulin Rouge building that now acts as the park's VIP buffet. Weird Al risking his life for entertainment? Let's check it out.
Well, you're known as a very funny guy, but this is a seriously dangerous act. Why you?
Well, I know they originally wanted Oprah Winfrey to do it, but I guess she was busy tonight or something, and I was kind of a last-minute replacement.
Oprah? Please. With a name like that, I don't see her going anywhere. Oh, God, oh no! I think of the gods, I'm so sorry, was this a joke?
Well, I figure the worst thing that could happen is I'll die. In which case, my record sales should go up, so it's a no-lose situation.
Well, at least he has a positive outlook on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the musical parody king, Weird Al Yankovic. Good thing he didn't take up the piano.
Well, duh. I mean, how could you lug a piano up that ladder? That's just silly.
How's that for getting a leg up on the situation?
Hey, lady, making the corny jokes is my job. Stop stealing my thing.
Standing straight up takes an enormous amount of concentration, physically and mentally. Because that sway pole has a movement all its own.
Shut up!
What? I'm just following instructions. This is truly an impressive, death-defying stunt performed within the park. Well done, sir. But that's not all he's done at Universal. Far from it. For you see, beyond just what I mentioned in the first video, he also filmed this segment.
Now, Mr. Yankovic, before we appear at the drop zone, I should debrief you.
Okay. Check Second letterless is Weasel Boy.
Oh, come on. At least name yourself after a good Disney movie. What? You're gonna stand there doing interpretive dance routine? Get on with it!
Get on with it.
Yes, get on with it!
Ah, the good old days when this was a Tony Roma's. Before the dark times.
You're not Barney.
How dare you, child? Such disrespect upon your betters! Have you no shame? Honestly, just a fun little comedy bit filmed in CityWalk. Not much to say, but it's funny. And it was filmed adjacent to the park. Moving on. Our next misstop was from 1999, as Al was doing promo for some of his albums in Canada. And how did he do so? Mostly goofing around in an amusement park called Ontario Place. Rest in peace.
This is great! I can just do this all day long! Well, while I work off a little steam, let's watch some more videos.
You know, I surprisingly don't have much to comment on here. I mean, it's just a wildly popular celebrity running around a theme park having fun. And what more can I really say? It's just fun to see, and why don't we see more of that these days?
What? Oh, what do we have here? Oh, it's a sign that says, "Don't bug Al when he's doing a video show."
Never meet your heroes, kids. They'll only lie to you.
You just don't see that many funny videos about flagellation and genital mutilation anymore, do you?
Yeah, Poppy YouTube ain't so happy about that kind of thing. YouTube censors really are the worst, aren't they?
And the other is to get myself a hair wrap. One, please. Ah, man. I haven't had one of these in a long time. Ah, thank you. We'll be right back.
Does that count as vegetarian? I mean, he'd been one for around 7 years at that point, so I was wondering, does that break the rules? I'm gonna go look that up. And now I'm on a government watch list as a potential cannibal. So, to our next topic. As the thing is, one thing that has been sadly neglected in this video, unlike our last one, is working back to the fact that Al is a musician. And thus the question, has any park made use of his music? The answer to which is yes. Not only did Universal Hollywood do so for their Animal Actors show, using I Want a New Duck during the wait time before the show starts in the theater, but Disney did as well, utilizing Airline Amy as part of the list of background tracks for the Taste Pilots Grill at California Adventure. Sadly, this was lost when it was changed to Smoke Jumpers, though. But come on, we all know what you really want to know. Has Al done any covers of Disney Park songs? And the answer is yes. 2 of them, in fact. The first of which takes us back to 1980, where during one of Al's first early polka medleys, he included this little classic. Avast, ye scurvy scoundrel, for ye best beware. For within these wretched waters sails the fearsome Captain Yankovic. A most hilarious death awaits ye, should ye cross his path. Ye best beware, me hearties, beware. The other of which, being this entry he tends to perform during encores at his live shows ever since 2010.
When the crypt doors creak and the tombstones quake, spooks come out for a swing and wake. Happy haunts materialize and begin to vocalize. Grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize.
I'm sorry. Too much things I love in one sitting. Don't know if I can handle it. I'm sorry. And the moment's passed, so might as well get to this video's big one. The one that I'm truly horrified to have missed. Beyond the song covers, the Death-Defying Feat Universal, and the non-footage. Seriously, what was I thinking? Anyway, Mile Murphy's Law, Season 1, Episode 6B, Murphy's Lard. For those who don't know, Milo Murphy's Law was a show following up on Phineas and Ferb by its creators, who brought in Weird Al to voice the titular main character of the show, Milo Murphy. The premise of the show is that Milo is the unluckiest kid alive, so he always comedically is prepared for any unfortunate eventuality. So he's basically any internet reviewer who has ongoing lore. Fascinating. Anyway, the reason this episode needs to be addressed is because this is the show's titular theme park episode. A character with terminally bad luck to the point of danger in a theme park? Sounds like a recipe for disaster. What do you think, Final Destination 3? That's what you always say! The episode begins with the cast of the show at the titular Lard World, the most disgusting and lawsuit-ridden theme park I have ever seen. I mean, with the copious amounts of lard everywhere, it has got to be a trip and fall hazard. Not to mention, oh geez, the smell. Oh God, the smell. Ugh. Makes me sick just envisioning it. I mean, they even use lard to replace water for their Flume and Rapids rides. Which just begs the question, how many pigs get killed on a daily basis for all the grease needed to keep this thing running? Jeez, Pia's gonna have a field day with this place.
Look out, frosting.
And there's a lawsuit from those with egg or dairy allergies. Man, these people are messing up. Just like Disney.
Right, Melissa? 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 Melissa?
Hey, I don't care what jokes take from Phil Lord and Chris Miller movies. That's your choice.
Choice. Powdered sugar.
Add the diabetics to the list for the lawsuit. How is this place still open? The show establishes up some exposition, setting up that our main female lead for the show, Melissa, has a fear of roller coasters after she encountered the most terrifying, most horrifying thing imaginable. A callback to Phineas and Ferb.
Suddenly. Done!
Think of the comedy, the cartoony antics, the repeating formulas. Oh God, the repeating formulas! Ah! To set up the show's usual B-plot, the two time-traveling pistachio protectors, Dakota and Cavendish, just roll with it, show up to protect a pistachio cart in the park.
Listen, kid, corporate sent us to protect these nuts.
Hey, phrasing!
Dang! The lawsuits just keep piling up. I thought Action Park was bad.
Your intestinal fortitude is truly impressive.
I mean, wonderful joke aside, can you really call it a coaster when it has a water flow like this? I mean, wouldn't that be more of a flume ride at that point? First off, the lard should just fall out, right? But cartoon logic, we can get past that. My real concern is, with those loops in that order, isn't this just straight up the infamous euthanasia coaster? Maybe this wasn't the best ride to get her past her coaster fear. Anyway, the customary bad luck of the show takes place, sending a flaming pig statue flying into the pistachio cart, proving the time traveler's right. And I thought Gravity Falls was the show to involve a pig and time travel in the same episode. Guess there's room for one more. However, the chaos causes the ride to be launched, forcing Melissa to use Milo's pack to return the coaster to the track, only to restart the course, sending them through again, only this time with the coaster falling apart around them due to a giant wrecking ball. Jeez, and I thought Sideshow Bob could wreck a coaster. He's got nothing on Milo. And after a bizarre 2001 reference, followed by a return of the flaming pig and a callback to an earlier joke about Zach being afraid of fish, the episode comes to an end with the crew leaving for the day. Melissa saying that after what she encountered, she has no reason to be afraid of coasters ever again. This episode is great. While I'm usually not a fan of gross-out humor, the jokes surrounding it involving the lard aspect are pretty understated, so it's not too much of an issue. But the overall cartoony comedy nature of the show, mixed with how it uses the theme park trappings of the environment, do make for a fun mix of elements to explore in this episode, and I really do have to say it comes across quite enjoyable. It has my full recommendation. There! Now is that everything in regards to this topic to be discussed? Honestly, after I left out so much last time, I'm not so sure anymore. But I'm always happy to revisit this topic. Yeah, I effed up by missing these additions to Al's theme park timeline, and I fully admit that. But I'm happy to see that there is more to explore here surrounding this topic, and who knows? there may be more over the horizon and possibly even more to explore someday. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time for more mockery and tomfoolery. Whoa, pretty cool. Come on, let me show you around. So, what do you call this ship? Well, the full name is the Experimental Prototype Spaceship of Tendo. So, I've taken to calling it EPSOT. Seriously? Indeed.
The name is terrible.
Agreed. How do those sense of taste so badly in the future? Just for the sake of a dumb Epcot reference? What's wrong with me?
I know. I expected better of you.
So, here's the commissary. We have a food replicator that can be adjusted to the tastes of all current passengers, and even a full bar set up to keep practicing my skills. Hey, still got the skills? Indeed. Bartending is still a good hobby after all, even if having it as a day job is long behind me. What's this? Oh, probably the most destructive non-radioactive explosive device the world has ever seen.
What?
Indeed. It's basically our ship's self-destruct system. It explodes, and the radius and power of the explosion takes out the ship surrounding it with it. Makes sense, I guess. And, of course, the guest rooms for when we have people aboard long term. So, where's your bedroom? End of the hall. Damn, still crazy to see all this. And here's our fully set up holodeck. Wait, seriously? That exists in the future? Indeed. I've had quite a bit of fun in there, let me just say.
Surprisingly practical. Lots of potential uses for such a thing. Even if it comes with its own dangers.
Yes. Always best to keep a clock handy so you don't lose yourself in there. And besides the research lab and the stuff that makes the ship itself function, that's basically it. We've explored the main recreational areas of the ship. Pretty cool.
Thank you for taking the time to show us around. Now, if you wouldn't mind sending us home, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Oh, absolutely. But there's one thing I need to take care of first. And what's that? Taking care of quite the dangerous threat to our future. But wait, I thought you said you only came back as a tourist. Oh, well, sad to say that was a bit of a mistruth. For you see, I knew it would be difficult to accept the reality of things, and thus needed some things in place before I could be honest with you.
What are you talking about?
Simple. I needed the two of you up here before I can deal with them. You see, it may be a shame, but in order to make tomorrow truly play out for the best, the other Guardians need to die. What?